Pro boxing fans, delighted to have with me British and Commonwealth super middleweight champion Callum Simpson. Callum, let's get straight into it, mate. You're fighting again. What's going on?
Straight back out, mate. Straight back out. Obviously, I fought last Saturday, and then a week later, I met my manager, Kevin Marie, to have a chat about what's next. Discussing plans for the summer at Oakwell. And yeah, we sat down, had a little coffee, and he said, "I've got a strange one for you. Um, how's your weight?" I went, "It's all right. You been in gym?" I said, "Yeah, I trained all week, twice most days. Do you want to fight next Saturday?" Too right, I do. Yeah, don't have to ask me twice. Yeah, obviously he told me that I went to go and meet him. He told me that about Vidal Riley has at Chamberlain getting called off coming event on chief support, and they're looking for a fight to fill the slot. And I believe my opponent, Ahoga, I believe second name is Elvis Ahoga. He was supposed to fight in a boxer show in December, but his visa didn't get passed in time. I think it was. Then he was supposed to fight on the 8th of February coming up. Um, so he was available. So yeah, the fact were there ready to be made straight away, and I said, yeah, I'd love to get back out again.
Nothing more frustrating, certainly for fans and even for fighters yourself, than careers that sort of get held up by inactivity. And there's
Yeah,
definitely no
definitely, yeah,
danger of anyone applying that to yourself.
definitely not, mate, definitely not.
Was there any doubt overtaking it, given how soon were you in the ring? I know it was only, a matter of minutes against Steed Woodall, but I'm sure it was a long camp, a tough camp. Don't think anyone would have held it against you for taking a wee holiday, a couple of weeks off. Was there any reservations about jumping straight back in there?
No reservations at all. I was actually disappointed that he actually asked me the question and didn't just accept it without even asking me, to be honest. I don't know why he wasted his own time asking me. But yeah, he knew I would have accepted it straight away. Like I said, I fought on the Saturday. I was back in the gym on the Monday. Trained twice most days that week anyway. I had a bit of food, had a bit to eat, but I'm not one of them that as a fight, goes out partying for weeks on end out the gym. I live the life. And yeah, so and it shows it pays off. So I've got another great opportunity next weekend.
Just a quick word on the fight last week, Callum. A big talking point that emerged was the stoppage.
Yeah,
Now, I've not seen anyone online or even speaking to in person who doesn't think it was at least very likely that you were going to go on to stop Steed Woodall.
yeah.
So, is it frustrating that a lot of the narrative was about the stoppage and not about, regardless of whether people think it was an early stoppage or not, the fantastic start you had made to that fight and dropping and badly hurting Steed Woodall, and they're talking about the stoppage?
Not really, mate. I'm not really too bothered. Like I said, I know that not even just the stoppage and the knockdown before, but the work that I was doing in the first round and the start of the second round, myself and my coach had worked on a lot. Like I said, it'd been a long camp. We worked on a lot of stuff last camp, and we'd shown a little bit of that. We shown quite a lot of it, to be fair, in only 4.5 minutes. So as long as myself and my coach are happy with my performance, that's all that matters, really. But as long as my coach is happy, and we can show prove I can prove to him, and we show each other that what I'm doing in the gym, I can do on fight night as well. That's the main thing that matters, to be fair, mate. And then with the stoppage, watching the fight back, and as a fight fan watching it, you can see why people think it were an early stoppage. But when you're in the ring, the knockdown that put him down the first time, he got up just on the just on nine. Probably should have been stopped there. He run at Kosh again straight away. I put it straight back on him. And watching it on TV, you can't in normal speed, you can't see the shots land properly. But when you're watching slow motion, you see four shots land on him. He wasn't retaliating, and you can see a fight when you're in the ring. You can see the face and the body language and the facial expressions, and the ref can see even better because I'm throwing shots, flying about where the ref can see him. And yeah, the refs refereed myself before and him before, and knows what I can do. See me knock people out before, see him, especially once I've got him hurt. So yeah, for me, did the right thing and stopped it.
Let's look forward then to 1st of February. You mentioned your opponent, Elvis Ahorga. Not the most familiar name to British fight fans, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
What do you know about him, and how are you going to make sure that Elvis doesn't leave the building with that Commonwealth title?
Yeah, so I knew he was supposed to fight in December on a Sky Sports show, but for whatever reason it didn't happen. He was supposed to fight next weekend in 2 weeks again against a good kid in Sheffield. So he's there, he's ready to fight. His game is coming to win, and yeah, I've seen his record: 13 wins, 12 knockouts. So he can obviously punch. I've only seen like two bits of footage of him. Looks very tough. Can obviously punch hard as well. Sometimes you get these some foreign fighters in. You look at the record, all the knockouts, and you think, oh, they're just knocking people over, but he can actually punch. Like I've seen him knock people like proper like flat out. So yeah, he's obviously going to be tough, and coming it's a big opportunity for him. So I've got to keep my eye on the ball, not overlook him, and yeah, make sure I'm going in there fully prepared. Which I've been. Like I said, I did a 12-week camp for Steed. I've had a taper down week before I fought Steed. Did a little 4.5 minutes fighting, didn't really get caught, and I've been back in gym straight away. So yeah, I've done a quick two week camp. I've done a 14-week camp with a week off pretty much. So yeah, I'm gonna like I said, go in there, do what I do. We've worked on a few things in the short time we've had, but yeah, I'm gonna be fully prepared to deal with Elvis on that night.
I can tell speaking to you, you're not going to be looking past the 1st of February, but I've got to ask you, I mean, it's been no secret that there are certainly talks for a return to Oakwell over the summer. This time, the full four stands. Now, I was there when you fought Zach Chile, and it was just one stand, and the noise, even coming off that one stand, was crazy. So it'd be
Yeah.
great to see that materialize. A name you mentioned as a potential opponent was Liam Cameron. Now, the talk has been about this Liam Cameron Ben Whittaker rematch. Have you had any conversations that indicate that a fight with Liam Cameron could be a possibility?
Yes. So first, just going back to what you said, mentioned at first, like I am looking past Elvis, but I'm not overlooking him if that makes sense. Because I know
Yeah.
I believe I'm very confident I'm going to beat him. I've got big ambitions. I'm confident I'm going to be. I look past every opponent, but I don't overlook him. I know I take every fight as a tough fight, and I know that if I don't turn up, I'm going to get beat. If I don't try, I can't just rock up in the ring and that's it. I've won. I've got to actually try and dig deep and do what I can do. So it's not a case of. But whereas I think a lot of fighters when they do overlook him. They look past him as well, and they're not focused on the fight night. But for me, like even when I fought Steed, back at O2 Arena, they said if you win this, you're going to be fighting at well. But I was still able to focus and knocked Mbappe out in the fourth round. Again, when I fought Steed Woodall, they said if you beat Steed, we're going to well in summer. And again, I was still able to stay focused and beat Steed Woodall in good fashion. And again, with Elvis, I'll be able to stay for even though I know what well's going to happen in the summer. I'll be able to stay focused and deal with him on the next Saturday. And then back to Liam Cameron. That'd be for me. I've not had it mentioned to me too much, but that'd be a massive. It's just because it's not that I want to fight Liam. It's the biggest fight available in terms of a South Yorkshire derby. Anyone that's from Yorkshire or different regions, you know how much how big of a fight it'd be. Absolutely massive. And I think that the credit that he got for the Whittaker fight, the credit that he got from that is big. And I think that both two good lads, hard working kids, and it'd be a great event. Be a great event for South Yorkshire, for Yorkshire, and for boxing as well. But whether that happens, I doubt it. I think it will end up fighting Whittaker. But if the fight doesn't get made, I've told him, I spoke to him, and I said it's there for him.
Massive fight for that part of the country. Just another
Yeah.
name I want to mention to you. Now, this is one that's been sort of linked to you on and off for the past 12, 18 months. And I know it's a fight that certainly hardcore British boxing fans would like to see is Mark Jeffers. Now, I remember in the press conference after your win at Oakwell, I think it was your manager was saying, look, we respect Mark, he's a fantastic fighter, and we think that should be a fight for big money, for world titles down the line. Is that still you and your team's outlook in a fight with Mark Jeffers?
Yeah, well, we've actually got the same manager. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the manager probably wants to build it as much as he can so he can get a nice payday for Jeffers before I finish him. That's probably what it is. But yeah, listen, I'm going to fight Matt Jeffers. I don't think it'll be next from what I'm being told. Well, as far as I'm told, it's not going to be next. Again, but yeah, I'm going to fight Jeffers. It's going to happen. When it happens, I'm not too sure, but when it does happen, I'll be beating him. No problem at all.
It makes sense then if you've got the same manager why he wants it to be as big as possible.
That's it.
Just a couple of quick ones, Calvin, then I'll let you go. I watched an interview with you a couple of weeks ago, and I can't remember who it was with, but they were talking about your sort of well-documented sparring sessions with Artur Beterbiev and asking, would you be willing to go over to spar for the rematch with Bivol? And thought your answer was interesting, where you were saying, like, look, obviously it was a privilege going over to spar Beterbiev, one of the best fighters in the world, but, I'm in the position now where I want to be bringing the sparring partners and I don't be going over as someone's sparring partner. Just talk a bit about that sort of change in mentality. Is that after picking up the British title, headlining Sky Sports? Is it just like a sort of newfound confidence within yourself?
I've always been confident in myself and my ability, but it's actually from a conversation with Bertubiev's coach. His head coach Mark Ramsey.
Yeah.
All his team are great people, but the second time I went to, I think I spent 9 weeks in total over there. But the second time I went to spar was for the Callum Smith fight, and I had a chat with him, and he was saying, this might be the last time you come over because you're at a level now where you've gone from being the prospect to the contender. You're stepping up, you're improving, and you don't need to be someone else's sparring partner. And I thought, you know what, he's right. Like, I don't need to be doing that. I need to be focusing. So instead of me going over there and helping Beterbiev, I need to be bringing people in to help me, like focusing on my. Because when I'm over there, yeah, it's a privilege. Yeah, it's great sparring and great work. Good to see how their camp's set up, how he trains, what the sparring's like, and his ability, and know where my ability is. But I've been there and done that now. I'm not going to learn anything else from doing more rounds. Like I said, I spent 3 months in total there. So I feel like I'm not going to learn anything else than what I've learned other than just getting a bit of money for sparring, but it is what it is. But yeah, so for me now, it's that I'm in a position now where that was just over a year ago now, that about a year and a half ago, I think. I'm not too sure when it was actually now. But yeah, I've progressed massively. Maybe it might be 2 years ago. It could be 2 years ago. But yeah, 2 years, my bad. Yeah, 2 years ago now, over 2 years ago. So yeah, I've progressed massively since that. And I'm the one bringing my own sparring partners in now, flying my own sparring partners in, and yeah, focusing on myself and improving and trying to develop myself instead of helping someone else improve.
Good stuff, certainly on the upward trajectory. Just last
Yeah.
one, Callum, just stick a win. The theme, Beterbiev, rematch with Bivol, less than a month away, a month ago yesterday. Very
Mm-hmm.
close fight, the first time round, sort of split opinion. How did you actually have the first fight, and how do you see the rematch going?
I actually had the first fight as Bivol winning, I believe. But I was sat down. I was like, when you're talking as well. I was talking to Dave Caldwell, who were next to me, we're having a chat and stuff. So it's like when there's so much going on, if I'm not sat judging of like, obviously, if I'm not there, I'll watch a fight to score it, and then I'll watch a fight just for the entertainment of it. And that was one of the fights where I watched for the entertainment. So I wasn't actually thinking about each exchange and kind of scoring it. So, but just from the fight, I thought Bivol did win. I thought he boxed amazing. Beterbiev probably could have put the foot on the gas a little bit more, a bit earlier as well. And I said to his team after, I said, "What were you telling him to do?" We said, "We're told to do this, do that," but he weren't doing it. And obviously, coming to the rematch now, I think that Beterbiev will win. I think he'll stop Bivol late, which I thought the first time, to be fair. But I think that Beterbiev's got the most to improve on. I think Bivol boxed unreal the first fight. I think Beterbiev did great, obviously did amazing, but I feel like he could. He's got the most to work on, most to improve on, and could be putting a better performance the second time out. So I believe Beterbiev will win by late stoppage the next fight.
Looking forward to seeing you
Yes.
back in the ring in a couple of weeks, and hopefully the boss sends me. Looking forward to return to
Yeah.
Oakwell this
We
summer.
can, mate. Definitely,
Uh,
mate. Definitely.
I appreciate the time. I'll let you
Thank you,
go.
mate.
Have a good evening, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. No worries, mate. Thank you for your time.